everybody, welcome to Pakistani Profiles. Today my guest is Danish Ali. Let's talk to him. Hi Danish.
Hi Heba. That was very natural.
Okay.
I felt right at home.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so Danish, who are you?
Who am I? I'm a stand-up comedian in Pakistan by profession. By qualification, I'm a doctor.
Okay.
So that's always a... who am I is a very difficult question for me to answer in a social setting. But on TV, I'm a comedian.
Okay.
There we go. That easy.
So how does your
But
doctor
if you are an
profession-
auntie looking for a rishta,
Okay.
it'll be very difficult to answer. Okay, I'm a doctor, but I work as a comedian.
So how does being a comedian and a doctor go together?
They don't.
Okay.
No, no. It's very, very different. Like usually, no one who's sick and dying wants to hear a joke. They just want to get better. And if you come to a comedy show, very rarely are you ill.
Okay.
So I get shut down from both sides. But I keep hoping for the day, you know, when if you know a joke doesn't go well, they're really sick. Like all of them have the same disease, and I can like prescribe something.
Okay.
You see, it doesn't work. It does.
Have you ever freaked out your patients?
Have I ever? No. Well, not intentionally. Look, I mean, you know, I'm not Angelina Jolie.
Okay.
So it's not like I go to the ward and people are like, oh, and I'm flashing my leg, but it's and with an Oscar. But it's just that, yeah, when and if sometimes I get lucky enough to get noticed, it can be strange. A little bit, but like, no, I mean, it's more they just go, oh, and like this one girl like recognized me. Her husband, this woman's husband recognized me, and she was sort of bleeding, and so he sort of stopped everything.
Okay.
Not like a terminally ill way bleeding, but she was. She had like a catheter issue. It hadn't been placed properly, and so she was bleeding a little bit, and she was in a little bit of distress. And her husband kind of stopped everything and just said, "Oh, you're Danish Ali," and started talking to me. And then I had to be like, "Oh, you know, you're
bleeding."
Yeah, your wife is bleeding. And like, oh look, suddenly I have a glass of water. The last shot I did. Oh, how did that happen? No, yeah. To answer your question about like comedy in when I was in med school, there were a couple of times. I mean, definitely as a med student, there are things that you can talk about. Like my first time in surgery, I remember. You think it's really cool, right? Do you think surgery is cool?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I freak
Well,
out.
I mean, no, not if you're undergoing surgery. I mean, as a surgeon, surgeons are promoted as people who are very
Yeah, I know that.
cool, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what I thought. They were really cool, and I thought performing surgery is awesome. But it's not like how they show you on TV, because like my first time I'm assisting the surgeon, and like you don't realize everyone has masks on.
Yeah.
And so like my first time in surgery, this guy's abdomen is cut open.
Okay.
All right, and like. So I've got a scalpel in one hand, which is really sharp knife, and I've got this electrocautery in another, which is used to burn arteries that are bleeding.
Okay.
So it's pretty important, right?
Okay.
Sort of. And so the surgeon, the chief surgeon who's performing, he's got a mask on. He turns to me and goes, and I'm just looking at him like, because I couldn't hear a word he was saying, and so things like that. There's a lot of absurdities like that, like.
So it's does anything like House happen there? You know House?
House, you mean like all the promiscuity and well, I can't answer that, but yeah, it's med school is fun. Med students are like, yeah, they're a fun bunch.
Are you still a practicing doctor?
Well, I graduated, so technically yes, I'm provisionally licensed.
Okay.
But since I just graduated, I'm kind of on the fence about what I want to do myself.
Okay.
I mean, if this goes well, and if I can keep being a comedian, I'd want to do that. So yeah.
So how did the real news begin? Who started it?
Well, me and my friend Saad Haroon. Saad Haroon created it. He's the guy who kind of instigated the thing. Yeah, we just wanted to do a TV show. We'd been doing stand-up for a while, and so we just kind of started doing it. I think it's maybe the first Pakistani. Well, it's the first Pakistani English language TV show.
Okay, yeah.
But also it was really fun because it's the first of its kind where we had a live audience, and so the laughter you hear isn't sort of out of a can, hee hee ha ha.
Okay.
They're really there, and so we really had to, as stand-up comedians and performers, we had to write things that people in the audience would laugh at. So it was fun.
Okay.
That way, yeah.
I'm sorry, you had a third partner as well.
Yes, Mikhail Lotia. I'm actually meeting him on Tuesday. Mikhail, if you see this by then, where is my dinner?
Okay.
So, but yeah, no, I joke about this. He left the Real News to join the Real News, as in he joined Dawn.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
you know, like he actually quit the fake news show to
Okay.
join the real news show, and I think he's pretty good at it. So
Okay.
yeah, and we missed him though. He was a funny guy.
Okay, and how
But
does
his
it
food
feel?
must be better. Okay.
How does it feel like going solo in comedy?
Is this chair like really making a lot of noise when I do it? No, is it okay? Sorry, I sometimes I get distracted. Sorry, your question was
Solo in comedy.
Solo in comedy. Well, I went solo because I think this sort of time, like I'd been performing with my friend Saad, my buddy, for like 6 years.
Mhm.
And so even after 6 years, Saad was even looking at me like, when the hell are you doing your own show? And I was like, I need to do my own show. And so I did my own show.
Okay.
And so yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And it's been fun. Like I'm you know, we've got a couple of live stand-up comedy shows lined up. There's not many of us, so I think it's a good idea for everyone listening to come to my show Plug In right there.
Okay.
Stand-up comedy, performing at the Ramada Hotel on the 5th at 9 p.m. and yeah, so
Okay.
that's a little awkward, strange, slow plug-in for my show.
Do you think people in Pakistan really understand stand-up comedy?
I hope so. No, I mean the people who come to our show seem to laugh and have a good time.
Mhm.
That in mind, we once, for our documentary about stand-up comedy that we filmed, we actually went to like a little village, and we tried doing our stand-up there. So where they didn't really, you know.
How'd it go?
They were laughing, but I don't think with us. I think they were laughing at us. They're like, look at these losers. So yeah, but they, I mean, yeah, the people who come to our show, they seem to like it, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your most recent project?
Well, we're pretty excited. Myself and my friend Sadharan, we're going to perform in the States in October together with the wonderful people at the New England Foundation of the Arts and Center Stage. So it should be a lot of fun. We should be hitting a couple of different cities. I don't really know the itinerary completely, but there's Washington at the Kennedy Center, and then New Orleans Fringe Festival, and also Dartmouth.
Dartmouth.
I'm a Pendu, and I don't know what I'm going to do when I get there, but it's Dartmouth College. Or
Okay.
so if people are watching there, we'll be hitting you guys in, not literally hitting you, just comedy in October 2012. Plug in again, boom.
Okay.
That's how smooth it was.
What is
No
Shark?
nest. What is Shark? Shark is our improvisational comedy troupe that I performed in for a while. Improv comedy is different from stand-up in that, you know, it's not scripted, because, you know, stand-up we take, like, you know, improvised means that, well, there's still a science to it. When people say improvise, ha, yani koi kaam nahi kiya, and they're just, you know, no, you have to learn the art of improvising comedy on stage, and then that takes a couple of months of training. And then we go to, you know, when we have a show, like an audience will give suggestions, and we'll do a funny scene based on that. So people like Shark, people like improv comedy because, you know, it's on the spot. We take your suggestions, you know, and so.
Okay. Do you feel that the comedy in Pakistan nowadays is going down? Is it cheap?
You know, it's funny because I will not mention the TV show, but one of them just, and they know who they are, they just copied some of my jokes and they're airing it on TV. And that kind of, you know, really makes me, it doesn't make me so much mad as it does sad that, you know, they had to, the ones, you know, they're two stand-up comedians and they have to take their material and then, you know,